Who would have thought to put a bucket hat on your head for red carpet at Golden Globes? Oh boy, I hope you have a big beverage ready because this one is not going to be short. I went through 4 different red carpets for 4 major film awards. So we're going to go through firstly Golden Globes because we're going to go chronologically. Then afterwards we're going to hit BAFTAs, then SAG Awards, and finally Oscars. My main point was to see if the stars that we're going to talk about, some of them are nominees and winners and other are just famous people who have a great or not so great style, if they have a stylist or not, because if they have a consistent look throughout these 4 major red carpets, that definitely means they are working with a stylist. If they have a very different looks, well, that probably means they're on their own. Hi guys, and welcome to another video. If this is your first time here, my name is Veronica. I'm a TV presenter and I love everything about fashion. And every year we kind of jump onto red carpets just to kind of see what stars are wearing and especially how they are combining accessories and things like that. Because if you haven't noticed yet, I'm going to point out that since last year into this year award season, we've seen a lot of necklaces being worn at the back. So you have a dress with an open back and then you wear a long necklace, not in the front, but in the back. This is something that some of the jewelers were actually saying to us before the Oscars, that this is like a new trend on red carpet, and we're going to see some of that looks as well. Also, men are finally picking up the jewelry trend because for years we only have Jeff Goldblum to look forward to. There were other actors, but not many A-list actors wore a lot of jewelry apart from Jeff. And now we have, of course, Timothee Chalamet, and we have Colman Domingo, which I think is my favorite. I love him. I mean, his style is just so amazing, but you're gonna see in photos. So let's start with Oscars, and let's start with my favorite actress that I'm still sad that she didn't win, Demi Moore. So Demi Moore was of course nominated for Best Actress for The Substance. She didn't win, sadly, but she dazzled in this custom gown, and this is actually Giorgio Armani Privé, and of course it's custom made like most of the red carpet looks. So I have here notes on my iPad, I have photos on my phone, so I feel like a gadget freak, so it's kind of weird to talk about red carpet looks surrounded with all this technology, but that's the only way I can keep track of all the photos and all the information I gathered for you guys. So this look I definitely like. Demi was really consistent actually for her red carpet looks, because the previous awards before the Oscars, and that's SAG, you can see it's very different dress here. I also noticed that for SAG Awards, which is Screen Actors Guild Awards, a lot of people wore black. There were a lot of black dresses and black tuxedos, so I don't know if it's because of the solidarity with the LA fires victims, because that really was a sad time during this award season, to keep it in mind what actually happened in Los Angeles with these horrible fires. But I really saw a lot of black. I don't know if this is a conscious decision or not, but definitely a big contrast if you look at this SAG dress and then jump to Oscars. For every dress that I will find who designer is, I will write on the photo, because otherwise it's going to take too long to go through all of them. So this is SAG. Now we're going to go again slightly more back in time, and we're going to jump to BAFTAs. This is the dress that Demi wore for BAFTAs. That was like a week before SAG Awards, or a few days before. And you can see it's still kind of like sparkly, and it's definitely her style, but I don't really see a complete connection for these 3 looks. That doesn't mean that she doesn't work with a stylist, because I think she does, but it's just that she did not keep her red carpet consistent. So if you look all the photos together, you can see that they are not, apart from all of them being dresses, they don't have really that much in common. And to prove my point, we're gonna go to Golden Globes, which were the first, date-wise, and here we have Demi at Golden Globes. Now, I would say that she went for metallic look if it weren't for SAG Awards dress, because that really was not metallic. So it's again kind of like little details. I think that she really likes to have like a classic dress and then add something twisty and moderny on it. So I like Demi a lot and I like her style. But again, we can see there's really no consistency on the red carpet for those 4 looks. Now we're gonna go the other way around because I'm already in the Golden Globes folder, and we're gonna go with Ariana Grande. Another thing that I noticed was that there was a lot of Chanel in BAFTAs, but not so much at the Oscars. So I'm guessing because it's like European location, maybe Chanel was more present for that reason. But I've seen quite a lot of stars in Chanel. Some of them were like in Miu Miu. I think I've seen some Prada, and for men, mostly Valentino and Armani. But I didn't see a lot of Chanel on the Oscar red carpet, which tells you something. So Ariana Grande. Now this look, I think the main problem I have with this look is that she is definitely blending too much with the background. I mean, you can't, you know, she's a little woman. I adore her. She's amazing. But here, it doesn't do anything for her, this dress. Now, if the background would be different, maybe it would work then. But I'm also not crazy about white gloves. Not in this combination. If she would have a different type of dress, white gloves for me would work. I know where the inspiration for this come from. It's kind of like, you know, the 50s kind of look style, and it's wicked, it's musical, so it makes sense that she would go for this kind of embroidery and white gloves. But, you know, it just doesn't work, and the shoes are all wrong. You cannot have that kind of combination of dress and gloves, and then you have court shoes. There should have been some bedazzled sandals. So this is Ariana at Golden Globes. Now we're gonna go and see what she wore at BAFTA. So her BAFTA dress to me looks like a upside down chandelier kind of look. It definitely looks lampish. We actually had another dress like this, like red dress like a lamp. So this is Danielle Deadwyler at SAG Awards, and this gives me exactly the same upside down lamp look. So maybe they had the same stylist, I don't know, but I really I'm not a fan of this look. And even though on photo this works for Ariana, and you know, she does have a bit of a out there style sometimes, so for her that works. But if you imagine seeing her in person with that dress, Ariana is like 5'1", I think, and this dress on such a petite person can just overwhelm her. So on photos, when it's kind of like cropped and it's just you in the photo, it might work, but when seeing it with your own eyes, walking the red carpet with this, I don't think this is the perfect look for Ariana. And, you know, I feel you, girl. I mean, I'm not that tall myself. It's always a problem what to kind of put on the red carpet, because, of course, you want to dazzle, but if you don't have, like, the height and the long legs, you are slightly limited in your choices. So, you know, I get it, but still, you know, she can afford a good stylist, so I don't know why she chose that dress. So if we jump to SAG Awards, here we have something completely different. If you're a fan of Monty Python, we could say this now, like, and now for something completely different, even though we are still talking of Ariana Grande. This dress is very different from the previous two. It's still kind of like fairy tale like, so I think this is like the kind of like the connecting theme of her looks for this season is kind of like fairy tale, not necessarily princess, but, you know, fairy tale period. And this dress I definitely like. It suits her more, and it's a gentle style, but still works, even though for red carpet sometimes you have to go bold. But especially now that she has her hair blonde, I think this kind of dress really suits her best. Now we are going to Oscars. So she pulled all the stops for Oscars, which makes sense. It is the biggest red carpet of the year. And here is exactly my point when I said before that upside down lamp doesn't really work. Now this skirt on this dress is huge as well, but because the way it's structured, because it has this kind of like peplum style on top, it actually works even if you do not have the height. So this dress definitely works for her. And we can actually see on this other right side photo that when she's talking to people, because obviously she has like huge platforms on, but it works, even in the company, it works. It doesn't overwhelm her. I think it's got something to do with the upper part that is very simple. The heart neckline is always gentle and princessy-like. So this dress is definitely a winner for me out of all the 4 looks of her. But the thing is, like, again, she didn't have really consistency on red carpet, apart from having this kind of like fairy tale. But you will see later on, because some people really made it obvious that they were thinking that I will have the same kind of like combination of style for each of those red carpets. And Ariana, even though she went in similar direction, didn't really combine all of the looks into one coherent story, which again is not necessary, but it's nice because it kind of gives you an idea that they're thinking about the whole season, not just one specific red carpet. But you know, girl, I still love you. Do you remember when Gwyneth Paltrow won her Oscar for Shakespeare in Love, that pink travesty of dress? Well, I think Mikey kind of topped that. This dress is just like, girl, you have a very good chance that you're gonna win, because Anora is a great film. You did a great job. You won previous awards. So it's kind of like a given that you're going to go on that stage in front of this who's who of Hollywood and the whole world. And you chose to wear this. To me, this is like Sunday posh picnic with the in-laws. Like, okay, you want to look nice and presentable, but you don't want to stand out too much, and you want your potential mother-in-law to like you, so you're not going to be too sexy, but still you have to be elegant. But after all, it is kind of like a picnicky thing. It's so not red carpet to me. Mikey, the whole season didn't really impress me, so I'm guessing she doesn't have a stylist. I think she's working alone. By the time I'm filming this, I couldn't find information on this, if she actually has a stylist or not. But this dress is just, no. This is Oscars. Now we are jumping back to SAG Awards. Now let's look at this dress. Again, I think she prefers like open shoulders dresses, like corset dresses. And this dress, while it's a nice dress, it's nothing special. When you go to these major events, everybody who's there is famous. Everybody who's there is going to be photographed. It's not like you're visiting your old high school and you are the star of the show and you will stand up even if you are in jeans. Red carpets, especially big ones, you have to stand out. You have to... It's nice when you can tell a story with your clothing. You either connected with your film, or you connected with your career, or you do something beneath the look. It's not just the dress, it has to tell something. And this dress tells me it's like 11 a.m. and I have to be at the Oscars at 3 p.m. so I don't have time anymore, so I'll just take the first dress I see. Now we are going back to BAFTA. I said this the same last year when, for some dresses, was like, okay, it's not the Oscars, but BAFTAs are not unimportant, okay? Because a lot of times winners from BAFTAs, the winners who got BAFTAs, actually went on to win Oscar as well. So all the eyes are looking at those red carpets, are looking at those awards, not only because of the awards themselves, but also because there are predictions of what might happen at the Oscars. It's not the red carpets that you can hide. It's just not. And this dress is... I mean, she could at least put on a lot more jewelry and just kind of make it this wava-boom look with jewels if she wanted to have this kind of simple dress. Again, it's a nice dress. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's just this, again, to me, it's kind of like Sunday brunch at, you know, maybe not Catholic school because there are a lot of shoulders out, but you know, that type of event. To be fair to Mikey, she's pretty new. I mean, she's done amazing films before, obviously, but she's been put on the map of Hollywood with Anora. So she's still new, she's still learning. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. Now we're gonna go from start again, Golden Globes, and work our way forward. And we're gonna get to my favorite person on the red carpet this season, and I think I'm definitely not the only one thinking this, and this is of course Cynthia Erivo. Now Cynthia, she really has a quirky style. I mean, if you have a shaven head and a lot of piercings, of course you have to kind of match this with your fashion, and she definitely pulled out all the stop. I mean, just look at this dress of Cynthia at Golden Globes. If you see this, you kind of go, okay, what in the world? Like, what's with the big bow, or like what did she ate a toast that was too big? It's a really weird dress. But because she is such a cool person, damn it, she pulls it off. I mean, I'm sorry, but she pulls it off. She looks spectacular in this dress, and I hate the dress. Now, that's what I keep telling you guys, that it's always about how you present yourself. Even if you wear something that it's not going to be universally liked, like the dress, if you know how to pull it off, if you know how to kind of make it work with accessories and you know, the attitude, you're golden. And Cynthia Erivo is just my favorite person of this award season. So from Golden Globes, we're gonna jump to BAFTAs. Now at BAFTAs, she went white. This look is not my favorite of hers, mainly because of the shoes. I really do not like this combination of like lace up here and cagey shoes that are showing. If the dress would be longer, just seeing like the cap of the shoes, then I wouldn't mind, you know, occasionally all the strappy things kind of poking through. But because it's shorter and you can definitely see the shoes, to me this is like circles and squares, which can mix together but very rarely. And this is the outfit that doesn't really work for me. Now we're gonna go to SAG Awards. Let's see what Cynthia wore to SAG Awards. You see what I mean? This dress is... Did you had a fight with a Yeti or like... It's just weird. But again, if anybody else would have worn this dress, I wouldn't even talk about it, because it would be like, just forget about it, throw it in the trash somewhere and never show it to anyone ever again. But because it's Cynthia Erivo, because she has all the earrings on her ears, the nose ring, the kind of like the feathery birdie stuff that she has, again, damn it, it works. For her, it works. I really enjoy looking at her, even though, again, I hate the dress. You see now why she's my favorite, because she forces me to like her outfits. I don't like them, but I have to. And now we come to the Oscars. And now she again had like a too big of toast that kind of stuck in upper part of her body, or maybe it was like a zucchini or something. It is definitely something square. But just look at her with all the rings that she has on her hands, with earrings, with jewelry, the way she presents herself. She kind of looks like she escaped from some of the darker period of time, from some castle. But I love it. I can't fault her. It works for her. And even though, again, I'm not a fan of that dress, I'm a fan of her wearing that dress. Now we're gonna go into two guys. First, I'm gonna start with Colman Domingo. I mean, Colman, it was obvious that he had a stylist, that he worked through his red carpet looks for the whole season, because this is him at the Oscars. I think most, if not all of his looks are by Valentino. And this is, the funny thing is that I actually preferred all of his other looks apart from the Oscar one. But even this, he makes it work. And Colman Domingo is one of those rare male actors who really is not afraid of huge blingy in-your-face jewelry. And I mean, just look at him. He has a bracelet, he has earrings, he has a brooch, he has a shiny watch and ring. There's just like so many accessories. I'm not a fan of the sash on this blazer, especially the way it's tied. It kind of reminds me of a robe. But, you know, he pulls it off, and red definitely suits him. So, you know, it's okay, but again, it's not my favorite look on him, but he pulls it off. Now, from the Oscars, we're gonna jump back to SAG Awards. A very different look we have here. This feels very old Hollywood, with the scarf kind of below the jacket and with the bow tie. Of course, it's Colman. He's gonna go with jewelry. He's, you know, pulling all the stops with the jewelry the whole season, so I wouldn't expect anything less from him. And again, I think this is Valentino. Custom made a lot of things, and I love the bracelet. It's such a dainty, girly bracelet that you would not imagine a guy actually pulling it off, but he does, right? I mean, and the hair, the way he styled his hair, he's just, I'm loving him here. From SAG Awards, we're gonna go to BAFTAs. Which nightclub did you escape from? I just love this guy so much. I mean, look at this. This is like the shirt is the same fabric that the line of the coat is. And this is just such a wild look. And again, you know, he has these huge earrings, bare chest, necklace. Is just, he's very consistent with notice me looks. I'm not gonna just pull the usual tuxedo looks. And we have another actor that has done the same thing, but in a very different style. You're gonna see after him in a minute. You go, Colman. You rock. And from BAFTAs, we're gonna go to the beginning of award season of this year, and these are Golden Globes. Again, we have the scarf situation, but tied very differently. You can see it's kind of like a really big bow tie, but it is actually a scarf. And again, the main point, the main eye draw of this style is jewelry, because it's Colman Domingo. He knows how to wear jewelry. He knows how to put it on in a way that it kind of grabs attention, but it's not overwhelming and it doesn't look crazy. So, you know, I like this look, definitely. And he was very consistent with some of his choices. So that means to me that he is definitely working with a stylist. Now we are gonna go to another crazy actor that is not afraid to push the boundaries of what is considered men's fashion on red carpet. And no, I'm not talking about Timothee Chalamet, even though he is definitely in this group as well. Timothee is next. Now we're going to talk about Jeremy Strong. I loved him in The Apprentice. For me, he was like the high point of that film. I love Sebastian Stan too, but Jeremy Strong to me was the performance of that film. I've seen it in Cannes, and it was just, you know, it's still in my mind how good he was. And here we have Jeremy Strong on the red carpet at Golden Globes. Who would have thought to put a bucket hat on your head for red carpet at Golden Globes? Who? Well, Jeremy Strong, there we go. And the color is just Little Garden Boy. This is definitely not a look, if I would style him, that's not a look that I would, you know, chose for him. But bless him, if he thinks this works for him, then so be it. Who am I to say differently, right? From Golden Globes, we're gonna go to BAFTAs, which were next. Now here, I will be mean, okay? For this look, I cannot be not mean, because if I ever saw an outfit that screamed Count Dracula, that's it. He looks like Count Dracula. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's the pose, if it's the way he kind of holds himself, if he would be more flamboyant, I guess, if he would be like this, maybe I wouldn't get the association. But to me, this look is definitely Count Dracula. And I love Jeremy Strong, so it hurts me to be mean, but I have to be, because this cape coat, whatever it is just, no, please, no. Now we come to SAG Awards. Now, Jeremy Strong is very strong in what kind of style he feels comfortable in or he prefers to wear on red carpet. And if you thought that bucket hat was weird, what's happening with this kind of tracksuit combo? I know it's not a tracksuit, but because of the jacket, because of the way it's kind of like all the same color, this to me looks more like a, again, like Sunday afternoon stroll down Hollywood Boulevard, and maybe you will stop for a nice cappuccino, some cakes, you're gonna say, hey man, and you're gonna go home. It's not red carpet look. I don't care who is the stylist behind him, who told him that this is a red carpet look. I strongly disagree. From SAG, we're gonna go to Oscars. Okay, so at least he is consistent with kind of like Sunday afternoon or maybe brunch situation, but this look doesn't bother me as much as others. I like the way how his bow tie is non-existent, how he wears something between a bow tie and a tie. And now we're gonna go to Timothee Chalamet, which I said is another guy who is really out there with his style and jewelry and usually pulls it off because it's Timothee Chalamet. So this is his Oscar look. You heard a lot about this yellow suit. It's the same thing as with Cynthia Erivo for me, because this suit is just, I don't like it. It's really kind of clownish in a way because of the color and the way it's kind of like all the same color, all three pieces. But because it's Timothee Chalamet, because we are used to him being in an outfits that are not like classic outfits, yeah, it works. I mean, you cannot tell it doesn't work, even though it's a bit weird, but for him, it works. So from the Oscars, we are going back to SAG Awards, and this kind of pairs with Colman Domingo look for BAFTA. This is definitely more club style to me than red carpet, but again, I'm not mad at it because it's Timothee Chalamet. I think that we look forward to seeing how he's going to incorporate jewelry in his outfits, and my main thing that I do not like with this, with the SAG Awards, he's not wearing enough jewelry. I would love some diamonds with this, because it would be a nice contrast to leather, kind of like in your face outfit. It would be nice to have more jewelry with this. From SAG we go to BAFTAs, and here I don't know what happened. Like, didn't he want to be there? He wanted to hide? I'm not sure what's happening here, because it's just, he's non-existent in this photo, because we are used to Timothee that you see him. Even if there's like 100 people on the red carpet, you're gonna see which of them is Timothee Chalamet. In this photo, in this outfit, I mean, thank God for the little necklace. Otherwise, you would think he just kind of wandered there off the street. So this is really... He kind of disappointed me because I really expected more from him, judging from the previous seasons. And if we go back to the beginning of all this, so to the Golden Globes, we have the similar thing going on that we had for Jeremy Strong. So he has a tie, but he's not wearing it the way a tie is usually worn. He wears it like a scarf, which again is a classic Timothee Chalamet move. I kind of like a tie to be a tie, not a scarf. But he paired this with some jewelry at least. So we are not disappointed, because we did expect a lot from him jewelry-wise. I just want to show you, while we are still at the Golden Globes, I just want to show you Eddie Redmayne, because he's also wearing Valentino. And this look, do I need to say anything? Like, do I, or do you see it? Don't worry, Eddie, we still love you. All right, so we're gonna go to Zoe Saldaña. Now, Zoe gave an interview with her stylist to Hollywood Reporter, I think. So we know she's working with a stylist, and it's kind of obvious, because you will see her looks are very consistent throughout the 4 red carpets that I managed to kind of dig into. So this is her at Golden Globes. I like the way that she lets the jewelry actually be the front eye catcher, and then the wrap, the coat that she's wearing around her arms. And this look I really like. So her dress is not completely black. There are some undertones, metallic undertones in there. So that's why the brown coat, wrap, whatever this is, actually works, because usually black and brown don't really mix nice. And I love that she pulled her hair back. It looks, you know, the necklace and the dress is front and center, and you know, she's blending with an outfit. So I like that style a lot. From Golden Globes we're gonna go to BAFTAs. You can see it's the same kind of like motif, that she lets the jewelry be the main point of her outfit, because this dress, even though nice and it suits her, is really not that special. And the necklace that is very blingy and very big and very noticeable, it speaks first to whoever is looking at that photo. We see the necklace first. And it was definitely a good choice to have hair down for this particular dress, because otherwise I think it would be a bit too stern and not playful enough, which we always like to have a bit of playfulness in the red carpet looks. And for SAG Awards, for this look, is still kind of like consistent with her style, that she has one detail that speaks to us, like she had necklaces before. Now it's a bracelet and earrings, so it's definitely more of a jewelry statement. And again, she had her hair off her face, which emphasizes the jewelry part. And then we come to the Oscars. Now this is one of those dresses that I mentioned a few times in this video. The dress itself, it's funny and it's interesting. I'm not a fan of this dress, because this kind of like upside down lamp dress doesn't work for a lot of people. But because of the gloves, it works. Because she paired, you can see especially in this side photo, because it kind of like aligns the top of the gloves and the top of the dress, aligns, and it kind of creates the flow of the dress. It definitely works, and this is without a doubt my favorite look on Zoe Saldaña, and I'm happy for her that she managed to crown this amazing outfit with a statue at the end as well. Look who came to the red carpet at Golden Globes, and of course he has to have red shoes, because you know, if he's known for red bottoms, he cannot wear anything else but red shoes. I'm going to finish with Margaret Qualley, which is, of course, Andy McDowell's daughter, and she was also nominated for The Substance, the same film that Demi Moore. And this is her look from the Oscars, and you can see what I was talking about before. We've seen this on a couple of other celebrities wearing the long necklace at the back like this. So here is Margaret at Golden Globes. Definitely a very different style from her Oscar look. And she's wearing Chanel, one of the few that I managed to find that Chanel actually dressed. This is very Chanel-like because of the black and white combination, so it is quite recognizable that this is who dressed her. And I love the details on this dress, like sequined belt, and then the neckline is some jewels there as well. And she just paired it with big earrings. Now, the only thing that I would change here, I wouldn't have long earrings. I would have shorter, maybe round. That would definitely complete this look better than this dangly earrings. But apart from that, I love the dress. And I'm going to finish off with specific looks that are proving the point that I'm talking about when you want to grab attention. So this is Marissa Bode. Look at this dress. I don't know how she would sit in this dress. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure she changed while, you know, when she finished red carpet, because this does look like a dress that you can sit down in. And this is a combination how even the best of plans can go wrong if you choose the wrong accessories. This is Eleanor Matsuura, and I love the dress. I do not love the accessories. Now, the bracelets she is wearing, to me, again, this is more like a party look. It's not a red carpet look, and I don't like the bracelet. So I would definitely pair this with huge, huge diamonds. And another thing that I want to point out is the shoes. She could have metallic shoes with this, no problem, but not in this particular color. It just doesn't go together. So this is the schoolbook example of even the best of dresses will not work if you do not accessorize it right. And this is usually the point of why people have stylists, because stylists, they have eyes for this kind of thing. They know how to combine things. And this is something that I notice a lot, and I try to help my friends sometimes when they ask for opinions, because they are pairing the wrong shoes with the wrong dress, the wrong jewelry with that dress, with that outfit, and then it just doesn't work anymore. So it's very important not just to have a dress that suits you and that you know how to present it, but actually accessorize it properly as well. Okay, I think this is the longest video I have ever made, but I wanted to make it a really thorough talk about different red carpets. Now, let me know which is your favorite look, of course. And also, I want to point out that I have made use of a brooch to carry my mic. So if you've seen this thing kind of pop in and out, the reason I have it here is because on this dress, there's nowhere to pin the microphones, then the sound would not be okay. So I used an old brooch and actually stick a microphone on it. A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. If you have managed to watch the whole thing from the beginning to the end, well done you. Let me know your thoughts, and of course, have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video.